Hey guys, and welcome back to another video in this Telegram bot series in Ubuntu. So in this video, we're gonna be actually handling the request of type photo. So in the previous videos, we've seen the normal text, we've seen the document, and we've also seen the voice. And we agreed that there are some types that actually send files. So the voice, the document, the photo, the video, the animation, and many other types actually send a file. So they're actually working as follows. They upload a file to the Telegram server, and then you're gonna end up with a file ID, and you're gonna use this file ID in order to fetch the content of the file from the Telegram server. So let's consider the photo in this tutorial. So the photo is actually represented in the message object with an array of photo size. So it's actually an array of photo size, right? So let's dig into the photo size. So the photo size is actually the dictionary that's going to contain the file ID, file unique ID, width, height, and file size. So it's actually kind of like the document and device that we've seen in the previous tutorials, and we're going to be interested in this file ID right here. So for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to assume that we're only dealing with one photo. So in this array of photos, we're going to only check for the first photo in this array, right? Okay, so what we're going to do with the photo when we fetch its content, we're going to actually call a QR code reader or scanner API right here. It's called GoQR.me. So this website actually offers a free QR code scanning API, and we're gonna send our photo to this API, and then it's gonna just extract the text from the QR image, right? So this is the API URL that we're gonna be using. We're gonna need this in a second. So let's check the response of the API. We actually have two responses. We have the XML format and we have the JSON. We're gonna be using the JSON, which is the default response type. So here is the answer if we have a valid QR code that was successfully read. So we're gonna be interested in this data right here because this is actually the text of the QR code, right? And if the attempt failed, then we're gonna have null in the data, which corresponds to none in the Python dictionary, right? And we're gonna have also an error message right here. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. So this is the VS Code project that we've been working on, and here we have the message class right here and our supported types right here. So in this video, we'll be implementing this photo type here. So what we're gonna do now is actually define our get response method. So right here, I'm gonna type def underscore photo underscore get underscore response, and it's gonna take self as a parameter for sure. Okay, so what we're gonna do is actually pretty much the same as the voice and the document that we did before. So I'm gonna just copy this right here. So the first step that we want to do is actually try to get the file, right? And if you're not sure what is this get file method that we're talking about right here, so make sure to check our previous tutorial in the file handling and document handling, right? Okay, so right now what we're gonna do is actually get the file content, and after getting the file content, we just want to call the API of this QR code scanner, right? So I'm gonna create a new function right here. I'm gonna call def underscore get underscore QR underscore code underscore text, and it's gonna take self as a parameter, and it's gonna take, of course, the file content as a parameter, which is the binary representation of our file, or in this case, our photo. Okay, so I'm gonna define a variable called API underscore URL to store the API URL. So let's just copy this API URL from the documentation right here and paste it here. Okay, so right now we want to construct our request. So response is going to be equal to requests.post, and the URL is going to be the API underscore URL, and then files is going to be equal to a dictionary. The key is file, and the value is file underscore content, right? Okay, so right now we've constructed the request. We have our response. Let's now parse the JSON response. So we're going to create the variable JSON underscore response. Response is going to be equal to json.loadAs response.content. And right now, what we need to do is actually check for the response status. So if response.status underscore code is not equal to 200, then we're having a connection error with the API. Then what we're gonna do is actually just return the error, right? So return could not parse or your QR code photo, right? Okay, so let's now extract the data from our parsed QR code. So what we want to do is actually return JSON underscore response of 0 of symbol of 0 of data, right? So this is going to be either the text if the extraction was successful, or none. So what I'm gonna do is type or, and then we're gonna type our error message. Maybe we're gonna take this message and just paste it right here, and then we're gonna be good to go, right? Okay, so what we need to do now is actually call this method right here. So we're gonna go back to our photoGetResponse method, and we're gonna type here QR underscore code underscore text, for example, is gonna be equal to self dot underscore get underscore QR code text, and we're gonna send to it the file content. And then we're gonna, of course, replace the response with this QR code text right here. And the error message is gonna be could not get your photo, for example, right? Okay, so that's it for the photoGetResponse method. But remember, we said that the photo is actually, it's not a single photo, it's an array of photos, right? So, or an array of photo sizes, to be precise. So what we need to do is actually take the value of the first photo size. So what we need to do is go all the way to the getFile method that we created in a previous tutorial, and what we need to do is actually take the first value, not itself the value, in case we're having a photo. So I'm just gonna cut this from here, and I'm gonna place a variable right here. It's called file underscore ID, and right before this line I'm gonna type file underscore ID is gonna be equal to self the value of file underscore ID if type is, if self the type is not equal to photo, right? Else it's gonna be self dot value of 0 of file underscore ID, right? Okay, so I guess that's it, guys. Let's now test our server. So, as always, make sure that you're on the Flask environment in your terminal and type python server.py. Okay, so let's go to the Telegram web right here, and I'm just gonna send this photo right here, which is apparently not a QR code. And let's see the response. Cannot parse your QR code photo. Alright, let's now get a QR code photo from here. Hi guys, this is a test, and let's copy this QR code image, go back to our bot, paste it right here, send it. Hi guys, this is a test. So that's it guys for this tutorial, and see you in the next one.